Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Evan and we react to pop culture and pop music here on the channel.
Like, half of y'all don't know if y'all don't fuck with me or if you wanna fuck me.
First, I want to start this off by saying this video should be going up around New Year's. Happy New Year's, everyone. Welcome to 2025. I have some big things planned for the channel and I really hope that you guys are ready for it. Today, we're going to be ranking my top albums of 2024. There are 33 albums on this, and I want you guys' opinions in the comments on what you guys think of my list, as well as what your top albums of the year are. Okay guys, so first we need to go over the tiers. So we're going to start off at the top. We have Iconic. These are albums that not only have represented my 2024, but these are albums that I think will transcend 2024. They will go into 2025, 6, 7, on down the road, and it's still going to be albums that we are listening to, or at least I will be listening to, albums that we're going to be enjoying and we're going to be coming back to. Next, we have Gagged. These are albums that are not quite there. There might be a song or two that I'm like, maybe not. But they're still absolutely full of bangers. The third middle category is Living. I was living for this. I'm not gagged, but I'm living. Number 4 is it's an album. Okay. And then number 5, of course, is Flop. Let's go ahead and go into the honorable mentions. So guys, the honorable mentions for my top 10, I have 6 of them. Well, technically 7, but you'll see what I mean. So guys, the first honorable mention that we're going to mention here is Big Ideas by Remy Wolf. I was super excited. I was supposed to see Remy Wolf in concert in May. Unfortunately, there were the hurricanes that came through North Carolina and she had to cancel, and she said that she would love to come back someday. So I really hope that I get to see her someday. Currently, I am going to put this album at the top of Living. I think that there are some amazing songs on this album, like Frog Rock. I think that this album is amazing, and I think that she is an amazing upcoming artist, or I call her upcoming, you know what I mean. There are some amazing songs on this album. I actually found her through the track Cinderella, and then also found Toro right with it before I realized that it was an album that she had released. And then I found more songs like Soup and Frog Rock that I really enjoyed. I'm pretty sure the I think the entire album might be starred. I'm actually gonna move it up to Gagged. Yeah, I think that Remy has showcased why she is one of the best upcoming artists currently out there right now with this album. So guys, the next album that we're gonna mention is actually gonna be Found Heaven by Conan Gray. Now, this album is going to be going on the top of Living. I think that Conan hit the nail on the head with this album for pop-wise, at least for me. There are songs like Never Ending Song, Fainted Love. I love Fainted Love. My top song off the album is Alley Rose. I love Bourgeoisie's. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. But I think that Conan has definitely stamped why he is a main pop boy, in my opinion. So guys, the next album that we're going to be mentioning is Sincere by Khaled. I'm actually going to put it right up there with Conan. They're kind of tied there at the top of Living. Khaled, I had a moment I would say maybe the beginning of November this year, where I went through a lot of his music and really dove into his discography. And I think that Sincere is a great album, and I think that there are some amazing tracks on this album. I think if I had to pick some top songs off of this album, it would be Tainted, Please Don't Fall in Love with Me, and Skin. I think that this album is definitely something that I'm going to keep listening to, and it'll probably move up the list from there. It just unfortunately didn't quite hit gagged for me, but I do think that it is amazing. Oh, and I also didn't mention another artist that's gonna be on this list was a feature, but Personal featuring Normani was also a really good song. So guys, the next honorable mention here is Sex with Myself by Jordy. Now, like I mentioned, I did get to see Jordy live in concert, and this was right before the deluxe came out, when he was in Atlanta, Georgia. And he actually performed one of the songs off the deluxe that was not released yet, as a single. I'm actually going to put this at the top of Gagged because I had a huge moment with Jordy this year. Getting to see him in concert was just so special. Tracks off this album, I mean, my favorite song altogether is Drinking of Me. It is the last track on the deluxe. It's actually the only one that got a music video from the entire album, which is amazing. And it's an amazing music video. If you guys want to see my reaction to that music video, it is on the channel. I'll try to have it in one of the cards up here. I also really like Sex with Myself, this title track. Second Minute Hour and Can You Host. Those are probably my top tracks off that album. Okay, so we have 3 more guys, but one of them is a dual entry. So we're gonna go ahead and do the dual entry here. So we have Megan Thee Stallion titled Megan, number 1, and Act 2. Now I'm gonna be ranking them separately on here, but I'm gonna go through them together. So Act 1 is gonna be going in Living. Act 1, I really loved some of the singles off this album. I loved Hiss and Cobra, and I mean, this iconicness. And then Act 2 is actually going to go above, at the top of Living. Actually, no, in Gagged. Because with songs like Never Play and Mamushi and TYG with Spirit Box, like, there are some amazing songs on this album. I'm actually gonna move it up. Okay, guys. So the last honorable mention is actually Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator. This is actually my first ever Tyler album that I've ever listened to. And I know that he is known to reinvent himself in all of his albums. I was so amazed at this album. I think that Chromacopia was exactly what it needed for me to get into Tyler the Creator's music. So it's actually going to go into Gagged. And guys, we have reached the top 10. So, coming in at number 10 is Dopamine by Normani. This album was streamed on repeat for days. And when I say days, I mean days. I think the rollout of it was absolutely tragic. But I think that as an album itself, I personally really enjoyed it. Coming in with songs like, obviously, we knew 159 and we knew Wild Side, but having songs like Insomnia, Grip, Candy Paint, I just really, really, really enjoyed this album. And like I said, it was on repeat for days. There's no way that I couldn't just keep listening to it. I enjoyed it so, so much. And coming in at number 9 is another album that I absolutely adored this year, and that is For Crying Out Loud by Phineas. Now, For Crying Out Loud by Phineas, when he released the single For Crying Out Loud, I was amazed because I had listened to 1 or 2 songs by Phineas, but I had never really like fathomed him as an artist, and he blew me away. This is going in the top of iconic. I think that this album is such a standout. I think this album is something that I will come back to. I have came back to. I mean, songs like the music video for Cleats was an iconic music video. I love the song 2001. I love the song for Crying Out Loud with the music video. Lotus Eater was amazing. If you guys want to see the reactions to the 3 singles and their music videos, as well as the rest of the album, I do have that live on the channel. I'll put it in the cards as well. So, guys, the next album coming in at number 8 is Can I Be Honest by Z Machine. This album is going at the top of iconic. I think he's absolutely iconic. He is not somebody I even fathomed coming into my 2024. He was the second opener for Jordy, and I left like I'm a huge fan of Jordy, but I left a huge fan of Z Machine. This album gave us songs like The Radio. I love The Radio. Songs like I'm in Love with Everyone, Heartbreakery, Kill Shot. I cannot recommend this album enough to anybody and everybody that I know. So that's just, it is how it is. Alright guys, coming in at number 7 is The Great Impersonator by Halsey. If you guys have been on the channel for a while, you guys have seen my reactions to her music videos, her live performances, and this album. This album really struck me to the core in 2024. The story, like, I've followed Halsey since Room 93, and her with her illnesses, and like knowing that this album was intended to come out after she had passed, and there's just so much tied to this album. It is so vulnerable, and I know some people will be like, oh my god, why is this sad ass album in your top 10? You just have to understand it. Like, it was amazing. The rollout of this album needs to be studied by artists. The fact that every track had an inspiration, and every track had, like, the way she did her Instagram, where she showed the inspiration and she dressed up and like reflected the inspiration, and she had a story behind the song. It's just absolutely amazing. I do not think that this is my favorite Halsey album of all time, but it is definitely up there. It is the most vulnerable that Halsey's ever been with us. I mean, songs like Only Living Girl in LA, Ego, Panic Attack, I Believe in Magic. Ooh. My favorite song off the album has to be Alice at the Looking Glass. Panic Attack is also high up there, and then Letter to God 1998. Those are my top 3. As well as, I mean, I can't not mention Ego and Lonely is the Muse. Just iconic, amazing. It's going into the top of iconic if I haven't already mentioned it. So guys, coming in at number 6 is going to be Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande. Now, I think Ariana really put her heart and soul into this album. I think that the world moved on a little too fast from this album, and I think that it deserved a lot of love. She has kind of acted like this album didn't exist, but you have to keep in mind she has been busy with Wicked, so it's kind of understandable, but kind of not. And the music videos for this album, the visuals, just, she's amazing. I love her. She's amazing. I can't speak enough about how I think that she is great. That's it. That's the quote. That's the story. So my top songs from Eternal Sunshine, the title track, True Story, The Boy Is Mine, arguably Yes and. I loved Yes and I know that it was kind of a fake out, like it didn't really stand in with the album, but I don't care. The Boy's Mine, like I said. Um, We Can't Be Friends, Wait for Your Love. I cry every time. Oh, and I Wish I Hated You. These albums, it gets me every time. Anyways, okay, guys. So coming in at number 5, we actually have a tie by the same artist because I wasn't sure which I wanted to put on here, so I put both. But they're actually both at number 5, and then we still have a top 4. So the number 5 is going to Bentley Robles, and it's for both Ugly Crier and Chaotic Erotica. So like I did with Megan, I am going to do them separately. So we're going to do Ugly Crier first because it did come out first. Ugly Crier was the album where I found Bentley from. I found Bentley this year and by Spotify recommended playlist. So the fact that I found him was a needle in a haystack, to be honest. And I think that his artistry is amazing. I think that he is an amazing person. I've interacted with him a lot over social media. He's an amazing person. And I think that he really, really, really has something going for him. So my top songs from Ugly Crier would have to probably be. So I found him from I Am, which is track number 1. I think my top songs would have to be Hope You Cry, Side Effects, How to Ruin Everything, and Be a Good Boy. I think those are my top songs off the album, to be honest. And then we're going to put Chaotic Erotica in here. And Chaotic Erotica, I was following Bentley now after we got the deluxe of Ugly Crier, and he had put out Cobra, High Definition Lover, and Tantrum as singles. And he announced that he was going to be doing a EP called Chaotic Erotica, where we got 3 more songs. Prologue, Hyper Heartbreak, and Chaotic Erotica. There's only 6 songs. You guys are gonna have to take all 6 as my favorites because I literally can't decide between the 2. I'm gonna put Chaotic Erotica below Ugly Crier, just to be honest. But you know, guys, we're in the top 4. So guys, my number 4 album of the year, probably gonna be a shock, is Brat. Now, if you would have asked me when Brat came out, and probably the 2 months after, number 1, it would have been my number 1 album of the year. But albums come out, you revisit, and things change. I think that Brat gave Charlie what she needed. I think Brat gave her the ability to show everyone, hey, I'm not just like boom clap. I'm not just break the rules. Like, she really came into her own. Some of my favorite songs off this album, I mean, if we're not even including the remixes, like I love Guess featuring Billy, I love Girl So Confusing featuring Lord, but otherwise, like, Spring Breakers was amazing, and the whole album is just top tier, and it hurts me to put it at number 4. It's an amazing album, and Charlie should be oh so proud of herself for this album. But we're gonna go on, and we're gonna go to album number 3 of the year, and it is Cowboy Carter by Beyonce. Now, Cowboy Carter was an album that took me by surprise. I think Beyonce is possibly one of the greatest artists of all time. And that is coming from somebody who has never listened to a Beyonce album front to back, except Lemonade. I did listen to Lemonade front to back when it came out because, I mean, who didn't at that point? But I never really fathomed it. I listened to it once all the way through and never went back to it. And I definitely want to get back into some of her older work. And I might do that here on the channel. We'll just have to see. But Cowboy Carter, songs like Desert Eagle and Yaya and Lasagna, American Requiem, and the story behind Beyonce doing Cowboy Carter and the reasons that she did it and the way that she went about it. And I just think that it is an amazing album and she's an amazing person. And I think that she deserves a lot more credit than she was given. My reaction to her NFL halftime performance should be coming out here soon. I'm still in the middle of editing it, but I wanted to get this video out as well. But yeah, that should be hitting the channel here soon. So guys, we're down to our top 2. So, coming in at number 2 for album of the year, for me, my personal opinion, is Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. So I think that Short and Sweet by Sabrina is an amazing album. I appreciate her so much. I think that she is finally getting the flowers that she deserves. I think that this has been a long time coming. I have been a fan of hers since she was on the Disney Channel. I mean, from her first ever album, EPs, music that she put out. I mean, Eyes Wide Open. Like, I think that she has been a star ever since. Artists like her and Dove Cameron and Miley, and not just even talking about Disney Channel, but going into like Victoria Justice, like a lot of them for some reason have such a bubble that they have to bust to get out. And then there's specific ones like Ariana didn't, like she did, but it feels like it's different. Just seeing them bust out of the bubble of being a child actor and being appreciated as a pop artist is just refreshing in my opinion. I think that she has deserved the flowers that she's getting now for years on years now. But I'm so glad that she's finally starting to get them. I mean, there's not a song on this album that I don't appreciate. I mean, from Taste with that iconic music video, Bed Kim, which is rumored to be the next single with a music video, Juno, iconic. I mean, that's not even talking about the singles. I mean, Espresso and Please, Please, Please. Just this year has been iconic for Sabrina. And it's amazing. I'm so happy about it. But yeah, guys, that leaves us with number 1. My number 1 album of the year goes to Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish. I think that Billie has done an amazing job with this album. I think her and Phineas they ate, left 0 crumbs. Skinny and Lunch with the music video for Lunch. Birds of a Feather. The next rumored single, Wildflower. L'amour de ma vie. L'amour de ma vie is just an amazing song. The Diner, Bittersweet, and then Blue. We finally got Blue. I don't even think, like, there's only 10 songs on the album. You're gonna have to take all 10 as my favorites because I can't pick a favorite. Chihiro. I didn't even mention Chihiro. If I have to pick a favorite, it's a tie between L'Amour de ma vie and The Diner, I think. They're definitely the two that I have blasted my eardrums with. And no complaints here. But yeah, guys, those are my top 11 albums of the year, plus the ranking for everything else, all 33 albums that I listened to this year. I definitely have listened to more singles and stuff like that. But I figured that we would kind of keep this down into just the albums. But yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload new videos, hit the share button and share this video with a friend. If you guys are interested in uncut, unedited, and early posting videos, I do upload all of that on my Patreon, which will be linked down in the description below. Also in the description will be linked to all my social medias. I also have all of them here on the screen now. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys very, very soon for some more pop culture and pop music reactions.